Hello guys, today we are here to compare Lumen with Eevee Next and Eevee Easy Cycles Raytrace. This is available in the link below. It's for people that got Easy Eevee Raytrace. It's the same idea, but using cycles to give it less struggle to the process. But that's not the point. Let's go. We are going to this at the very end. Right now, let's compare Eevee Next Bellow 4.2 and the same scene in Twinmotion using Lumen. Lumen is a light technology used in Unreal, and I've been noticing this since I test Twinmotion. And in the propaganda of it, they told the Lumen technology was fully implemented inside Twinmotion like it is in Unreal. But I think personally, in my opinion, is way less accurate as it is in Unreal, and I will show you why. Okay, this is Twinmotion. Let's go to shape. This is Twinmotion, right? So that's what we have here in Twinmotion, right? Twinmotion has an interface that sincerely, compared with D5, D5 has evolved so much that in my opinion it bypassed Twinmotion already in terms of interface and also in terms of workflow and quality. I will show you why. This is the ambience. The ambience in Twinmotion is where you can set up lights in your environment, right? In your render. Okay, if you have this, the render tab, that's the standard of Twinmotion. That's how Twinmotion used to be in the past. Okay, so we here basically has nothing. We just have the environment lighting in the scene, and you can see it's pretty basic for setup. It looks like Lumen when you are just setting up your scene before you go ahead on the render settings and get it more realistic, right? At this point, what you have is this. So you can see here Lumen, right? You can change it to Lumen and you automatically see the lights coming through, and it looks like nice because it's getting this environment here, right? It's getting this environment here, which is a sky dome in which you can rotate it and also get the sunlight coming here and having the GI happening, okay, which is pretty cool, right? So for this case, we are gonna have the intensity of the light maximum. We will rotate because we don't want to have any sunlight. And the reason I'm testing this scene is because there is just this open source of light where the light goes through, and that's the scenes that struggle more with lighting, right? That's what I'm trying to push it as hard as I can so we can see how far it goes. Okay, another thing that I don't like with Twinmotion is this interface is not that much customizable. You see, you don't have that much range to play around with the settings, right? It's not very good in terms of interface, okay, compared with the 5. So the problem here is I have a light here, but it seems that in Twinmotion, when you turn it on your light kind of dim a little bit the environment for some reason. Okay, I will show you here. If we reduce the intensity of the light, then the environment starts to brighten up again. So that's why the approach I used in Blender, Eevee Next, it couldn't be replicated here because the light, it just behaves differently, right? So when you put a light in the environment, and you turn it on, your lights will kind of diminish the environment, right? I don't think this will happen in the path trace light here. Let's check it out, the path trace. That's the path trace, okay? And that's Lumen, right? Okay, let's go and set up our cameras. For the sake of this test, I set up one camera, more or less. I'm gonna remove the auto exposure, right? I will leave the exposure around, I don't know, maybe here, okay, something like this, right? And I will bring the local exposure last and shadow boost up so we can see a little bit more inside. That's how it works here in Twinmotion. Okay, so let's set up one camera. Okay, in this camera we are gonna get the lens similar of what we have in Blender, which is something like this. We're gonna bring it back and set up clipping. So and the clipping doesn't go that far. Maybe we can change it to 2. Okay. But then it says to put it out too much. Let's bring it to 1. That's pretty similar of what I have in Blender. Let's get the camera, the focal length a little bit like this, right? Let me see here. Is something like this. Okay, something like this. All right. I just need to clip a little bit less. Something like this. All right, that works. That works. Okay, let's create this one, and then let's create the other. The other one is something like here. Something like here. Yes. Let me see. How is the other one? Yeah, something like, yeah, something pretty much like this. Yeah. Okay. Then I can create another one, right? So we can have both. So that's Lumen. Okay, that's how it works. If we get the area light and bring the intensity, for some reason, it just, it doesn't create soft shadow enough here. Okay, so that's why I will turn it off, and I will render this up. I don't see any option here in Twinmotion to play around too much with grading. Maybe I can reduce the contrast. I have something. I have filters. I don't really need filters. What I need actually was it would be more options of color grading, so I can set up my renders to be better. But anyways, that's about Lumen. Let's go ahead and render this. Also, you have to export. For export, you have to add one image, and I will add these 2 images using Lumen. Okay, and voila. Let's export. We'll export here. Test. Default folder 3. Lumen. Okay, let me do this folder 3. Let's create Lumen, and then for here we will select this folder and see how long it takes. It's rendering full HD resolution. I think one image already. Okay, let's bring it down to Twinmotion and check it out how it looks like. It will be here for the 3 Lumen. Okay, guys, this is Lumen. Okay, for you that people were commenting on my previous video that Lumen would kind of be much better than Eevee Next or any other option. It's because you see the propaganda of Lumen on the YouTube videos, and you see great artists creating great scenes with Lumen. But I'm talking about ArcViz, and ArcViz is all about details, right? So you can see pretty much it doesn't solve that much the problem of smooth geometry, and you have lots of plots here going on. I know in Unreal you can remove that, right? But you can still see no reflection here. Lots of things. Let's compare, right? Right now we are going to Eevee Next. Okay, let's first render this scene in Eevee Next. Basically, let me show you how Eevee Next works. Eevee Next works with this. This is a probe. I know you guys don't like probes, but in Eevee Next probes is much better now. You just need to cast a probe here, and I will show you how it works. Okay, let me send this to render. So we will see basically how it works here. Let's delete the cache, so it will become like this, and let's bake it again. You see the bake is kind of so quick that it's nothing, right? So it bakes already. So that's Eevee Next. Okay, let's render this guy out and see how it goes. It's rendering. Okay, this is Eevee Next. As far as you can see from the very beginning, it's kind of destroying Lumen in Twinmotion, right? It's destroying Lumen in Twinmotion. Cannot be compared with this at all, right? Okay, let's save this image. Here inside folder, let's create Eevee Next. It took 13 seconds to render this image. 13 seconds, right? Let's change the camera and put in camera 1 and render that again. That's very important, guys. Don't be fooled, don't be tricky by the propaganda, what they show. The same thing for D5. What they don't have is that in Blender. You don't have that in Blender because the Blender Foundation, they just show what you really have in Blender, right? If they are showing Eevee and Eevee flaws a lot, be aware that those flaws are legit, and they're there, you can see. In most of the other softwares, they don't show the flaws that much. Okay, save as Blender 2. I've been playing around with Eevee Next, and I will show you why I feel that is improving a lot recently. Okay, so that's Eevee Next, and now I'm gonna show you Eevee. For people that got easy Eevee Raytrace in the link below, it's the version that mix Eevee and cycles in one render, and it gives you a great render time. Okay, but I've been recently dealing with tests, and I developed another version of it that will be released soon. From the people that got Easy Next, they will have that for free. It's a version that I call Cycles, Easy Cycles Raytrace, which is not the full Cycles Raytrace, but it's using cycles and somehow getting the light from also cycles, combining both, and giving you quicker, way quicker render time. Okay. Of course, it's not as complete. The result is not the same as cycles, but it's closer than Eevee. That's what we will have here. That's the version that I will show you here. Okay, let's bring for the first camera first. The only difference is you have to go to all your other scenes and change to the second camera as well, just to make sure. Okay, go to the main light setup, that's the main scene, and then let's render this and see how it will look like. You see, from the very beginning, you can see that it's computing in cycles, right? But it will render way faster than a regular cycles. And that's good for animation. That's more for people that look seeking for quick render times for animation, right? Here you go. That's what you get with Eevee Cycles Raytrace. So let's save here. Let's create folder. Let's see, one. And let's go to the other camera now. But it's not convenient. You have to go to your other scenes and change the camera as well. Probably change the camera as well. I still didn't find a way to do this automatically, right? And let's render that. The first render took 13 seconds to render. And let's see. Okay, let's save that. The light, I'll just show you, is the same thing that it's just the environment light and the light here. It's the same that I did for, let me show you, for the Twinmotion, right? It's the same I have here in Twinmotion. It's just the environment and light here, right? That's the same thing that we have, right? So now let's compare. Okay, let's open Lumen first. And then let's remove this guy. Let's open Eevee next. And now let's open Eevee Cycles Raytrace. Okay. I may bring them to PRF just for us to get version, just to get an idea of it. Okay, I'll first drag this, and then I will drag this, even next, and then I will drag Lumen. Okay, so now let's compare them. Okay, that's Lumen, that's Eevee next, and that's Eevee Cycles Raytrace. Okay, if we go here to Eevee Cycles Raytrace, which is this one, and we go to the render results, let's bring the last image. It took 16 seconds to render this, right? While Eevee next took, let's bring the image comparison. Eevee next took 14, so 14 seconds against 16 on Eevee Cycles Raytrace. And the difference is pretty much this, right? In Lumen, I think definitely is the worst option, especially because the reflections are far from accurate. You see, it's not accurate at all. I know in Unreal you can combine Lumen technique for GI and Raytrace for the reflections. I can guarantee you it's not something easy to do, and you have to have an RCX and all of it, of course. But you still got some issues with that, okay? So Eevee next kind of give you good results, which it seems to be a much more accurate results, but we still have something blurred here going on. But the materials are okay, right? So I don't like this area. I think this area is not realistic at all. The materials are kind of okay, but I can see an improvement definitely from how it was, from how it is now, even next. It's not totally screen space. Actually, I think Lumen has something to do with screen space as well, right? Because if I go here and, for example, let me go ahead and leave the media, and then if we go to ambient and we play around with the rotation of your sky, of our sky here, environment, let's see, okay, so we have the GI happening here, right? But somehow, as soon as I leave the camera, I don't know if you guys can see, I see that the GI kind of smooth a little bit out, right? Look at that. You can see here what's going on. And once we change the camera, we see that something else is happening here, right? And the GI level and GI is not showing anymore. So for me, that also look like screen space, you know. So to me, Lumen is something that mix screen space with something else. It's a different technology, but it's far from perfect, I think, right? And we can see here, there's no comparison in Lumen with neither RC, okay? But let's see. In these cycles Raytrace, it took like 2 seconds more to render than Eevee next. We have actually perfect reflections, right? The reflections is cycles reflections, so it is perfect. In here is reflecting whatever you have here. Of course, the technique is not perfect and I have to optimize lots of things, so you lose a little bit of highlights compared with Eevee next, okay? But you also got way more definition in areas that Eevee next is, it's not, okay? You get everything more defined and you get the real reflections on the ground, so here you can't see any of them, and you have too much occlusion here, which it's not realistic because the light is coming here, so it's bouncing around the ground. So you have a dark area, but it's not as dark as this one, especially in here. It's, I don't like this area here showing this line, which is kind of a weird highlight to me. This is much more realistic in my opinion, okay? So let's go now to the second cameras. Let's bring here the second cameras. And we are gonna get the other one, this one, right? And we are gonna get the Lumen one, which is this one here, okay? So that's Lumen. It's pretty obvious. It's not that good, to be honest. I mean, it's not bad. I'm pretty sure you can work more on lights and having it more realistic, but this is the same thing you can do in the other renders as well, right? So here is Eevee next. The results is pretty cool, I like it, but you can see here what's going on in the reflection. The translucent material is not happening in the mirror, right? I like overall the rest. The solution is coming somewhere, right? I like it, but the translucency doesn't really show how it should be. But everything else looks kind of okay. From this angle, it looks okay. Here we can see that we have a little noisy going on, right? And I don't know how much this would flick in animation. I have to test that. But the point here is the quality of image. Twinmotion Lumen doesn't really stands. And here is Eevee Cycles Raytrace. I think that's the best results of all, because here is very consistent if we compare side by side. And that's easy. That's Eevee next, right? It's more shadowing here, which I like. Okay, I think that should be a little bit more shadow, but overall looks more realistic. And the mirror, of course, because it cycles reflection, is perfect. Okay, the mirror is expressing exactly what you have here. So that's a big problem for all the solutions of real time. It's reflection in the mirror reflecting what is translucent or what is transparent and things like that. This is something that all these real-time solution always struggle with. Okay, and in here you can see it's working pretty well. Okay, so for here, for the cabinets, I think Eevee Next did a decent job, and its cycles retrace, it's much more accurate because it's pre-traced from cycles. So yeah, that's the comparison, guys. Let me know your thoughts, and I can guarantee you that these guys, if it's not in Twinmotion, if it's in Unreal, using Lumen from Unreal with all the hacks and everything that people has to do to Lumen gets better, and combining Lumen with real-time ray trace from RTX video cards, you can get way more accurate results. Okay, in the render times it's way faster, but for a little bit of seconds between Eevee Next and what you get in Eevee Raytrace, I think Eevee Raytrace still stands out. And Lumen, no, if I would go for ArcViz, I would go instead of Lumen, and I want such a similar technology for real time. I would go for D5 at this point because the results are much better, much more consistent, and the interface got way more intuitive and what you can do. Okay, so if you are interested, I will post the video in the link below, which I compare Eevee Next and EVS SGI and D5, and you can take a look on that and let me know your thoughts. If you like, thumbs up. If you don't like, thumbs down. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.